Hello and welcome to West Country Wanderings. I've got a railway short bite for you today. Probably got another short bite later on at the town of Berkeley. We're here just outside the town of Berkeley towards the southern part of the county of Gloucestershire. And you can see behind me this tremendous crane and also a railway siding. So what's all this about? Well, we've got quite a bit of interest, railway interest here, more of which in a bit. Just to tell you that this loading bay was originally built to load nuclear flasks from Berkeley Nuclear Power Station. Yes, we're alongside the Sharpness Branch line, which leads off the main Bristol-Birmingham railway line here. And there's a new project to bring the former station here back into use. But this siding here is still occasionally used for freight. I think it is for freight from the Sharpness docks, which are very much still in action. And it looks like, judging by the state of the crane and some new bits which have been installed on it, that it's still very much in use. There are CCTV cameras behind me, and obviously it's all padlocked, not in use at the moment today, but it looks like it is actively used on an as and when basis. It's not regular freight trains, but it's as and when. Anyway, that's not the main reason I brought you here today. I've got something really interesting to show you over here. Now, the main reason I've come here today is to tell you about the Vale of Berkeley Railway. Now, this started off, I think it was about 10 years ago. There was a little development at Sharpness docks to bring this as a heritage line from this point here, because I say from this point towards the Midland, what was the Midland Main Line, is still used by freight trains, but after this point very little use down to the docks. So they're trying to reopen it from Berkeley, what was Berkeley Station here, towards Sharpness, you know, type of thing, with perhaps a little diesel shunter and a brake van to get things kicking off. Well, what they're trying to do is to rebuild the station here as well, to recreate it as it was. They've got set up here, so they've got a little porter cabin here. Also got something interesting over this way, which looks really good. Yes, it looks like a former workman's hut here, and the volunteers for the Vale of Berkeley Railway Society and trying to rebuild it and restore it to create it in the condition, because obviously as you come in off the road, this is the first thing you see. So they've got that here. They've also got a signal, so we're just going to have a look at that as well. So they've created this little railway signal here behind me, but the main focus of the energies here at the moment is this. Now, as you can see, they've marked out the foundations there. They've got the lettering there to mark out strategic points of where the foundations need to go. So they have been doing some really hard work on the groundwork to get this station rebuilt once more, and that'll be fantastic to see that. But anything you can help and provide in terms of old photographs and plans of this former station here in the southern part of Gloucestershire, Berkeley Station, they'd be very much keen to hear from you. Now, Berkeley Station used to have two platforms. This was, at one time, a through railway. It was originally built as a branch line to serve Sharpness docks, and then the Severn and Wye Railway Company, if I remember the exact nomenclature of the railway companies, they built a bridge over the River Severn. That was in the 1860s time. Sadly, as I'm sure most of you on my channel already know, that bridge was struck by two barges on the River Severn in 1960. In fact, you can actually see those two barges. They're still there lying in the mud. You can see that at low tide. Perhaps we'll do that on a future video. And sadly, the bridge was dismantled because it was too uneconomic to repair it, because it took out a couple of spans of the bridge. So this then left this as a branch line, and it then closed to passengers. Yeah, you guessed it, with beaching around 1964. And the station, I think, was only demolished in the 1980s. So that's one of the platforms behind me there. They are starting to rebuild and put the brickwork back into place there. But just beyond that, they're trying to rebuild the former station here. If anyone has any plans of what this station looked like, they are certainly looking for that. If you go onto the website, and I'll put the website to the link in of the Vale of Berkeley Rail Society, Preservation Society, they'll be very much interested to hear from you. So we're just going to have a closer look at that now. So this line actually opened in 1879. There's some really good interpretive panels here giving you some more information. The line was in fact singled in 1930, and the line was also later jointly owned between the MR and GWR for financial reasons, and sadly it closed to passengers in 1964. But the building wasn't actually demolished until 1984, and I think the reason for that was because it was then became an unfit or unsound building in terms of danger of knocking somebody on the head with bricks or something, I'm not sure, but it was a shame it couldn't have been saved at that point. However, there is now plans to rebuild it and to recreate it in a much better condition than it was when it was demolished some 35 odd years ago. Now the original station house is also here, but that is a private residence, so I can't do anything closer with that, so be mindful that it is a private residence, people actually live there. But it's good to see that on site. But if they can get this station up and running again, it'd be fantastic. And to have a little shuttle service up and down this line again over weekends, be brilliant to see to that. So yes, if there's more information to do with plans, if you can spare any time, like I can normally keep asking on this channel, if anybody would like to volunteer and live in the area, in terms of the railway here in the southern part of Gloucestershire, Berkeley, just outside the town. In fact, the station is about a mile and a half. It is a little bit of a distance from the town itself, perhaps one of the reasons which led to its sad demise here in 1964. But it'd be great to have it running as a little shuttle service then. I mean, in terms of reopening the station, I don't know if that would ever be viable or not, but to let you know, they have done a lot of house rebuilding in this area over the past few years, and which is actually closer to the station than what the town is, so you never know. Now final thing to say just before I close on this short bite little rail one here at Berkeley is to say that there used to be a southern loop as well. So the northern loop, if you head down this branch line, you'll end up, train come out of here, you'll end up going in a northerly direction towards Gloucester. There was a southern loop which would have taken you down towards the direction of Bristol. That was taken out quite some time ago. But just to say to you that my YouTube colleague Ron from Parkinsons Walks did an excellent video not too long ago exploring what is left of that loop here. If you're interested in that, I'll put the link in for that. He's also done a brilliant video about railways in the Sharpness docks area and what remains of those as well, so check those out if you're interested in that as well. Until next time, look after yourselves, take care, hope to see our Western Country wanderings again soon. Cheers, goodbye.